Hi, YouTube. Okay, I'm live everywhere. I had technical difficulties and I wrote everything down so I don't forget anything. Um, so a lot's happened in the last 24 hours and I've posted about some of it and there's a lot of people really confused. Um, so I just wanted to have a discussion because I'm really excited about what's going on. There's a ton of help coming our way. We don't even know the full extent of it yet. And I apologize for this little guy. My bedroom has been my live area lately. So it's not perfect, but we make it work. Okay, so we're gonna get started. You'll see me looking down at my notes. There's a lot to cover here, so I don't want to miss anything. This is really important for all of us. First, everyone in the beauty industry, take a deep breath and try to let go of the stress. Also, if you're watching on YouTube and this has affected you in your personal life, take a deep breath, and more news will be coming out, but a lot of it is very confusing. At the moment, people don't know what to apply for. They don't know what they're eligible for. One thing we're doing is with my company, we're doing free drop shipping. Hi on YouTube. Hi, Estheticians. I can see you joining still. Feel free to say hi. I'll try to read your questions and answer them. Hopefully we won't have any difficulty with my iPad setup because that slowed me down for a few minutes. Okay, so first thing we're gonna go over, I sent an email out, by the way, if you need to drop ship products to any of your clients for orders of $50 or more, we will drop ship products to your clients for free. Or you can get 10% off. So that's just for people joining me that are a part of our business already. Hi, I see comments. Oh, and then on Esthetician Talk, let me see if I can resituate YouTube so I can actually see your comments. Okay, YouTube, is that okay? Okay, so let's see. First thing we're gonna start with is payment deferments, okay? So some of you have already done this, but I found out a lot today. So first thing is call your car payments, call your mortgage company. They are deferring payments. So they're deferring payments for 2 months. My mortgage company, it's really incredible what they're offering. They're going to defer payments, and then you have all these choices after you defer payments to, basically recover once you start paying again. So you can either make payments at the end of your mortgage, or they'll allow you to refinance with a lower interest rate, or they will let you refinance onto a 40-year loan. So some people are like, how does that help me? What about the interest? So how that helps you is you can always go ahead and refinance again later, okay? So if you need a lower payment to get back on your feet the next year or two, refinance to the longer loan. See if you can get a lower interest rate right now because the interest rates are very low. And what you'll want to do is, if you don't want that to continue through 40 years, as long as you're financially able, you can refinance again, okay? Ooh, got a little gnat there. Live, very live, as long as I don't eat the gnat, right? Okay, and so last night I was celebrating because of all of this. I have my father in the restaurant business. We had this horrible call like 48 hours ago where we were both like, how are we gonna survive all this, right? And my dad had gone all the way to the point where he was saying if they don't get stuff in place and in place fast, that he could go bankrupt, you know, from all of this. So it was very, very important that we, hi Angie, thank you. Very important that we get all of this in place. I know that the government was pushing really hard and quickly to get all of this done, because at first they didn't agree about it. So another huge thing is if you're self-employed, you can apply for unemployment if this is affecting you. And be sure though, if you're working, or if you're working part-time, you need to mark that are not doing this yet. You know, so there's a lot of studying still that I need to do. So apply for unemployment though if you know you can get it, like California, some of the disaster states, and a lot more are being added. So I think today they said there was a jump in unemployment applications to 3.3 million or something this morning. So you want to get yourself in the queue as soon as you can, okay? So they just opened it up to unemployment to gig workers is what they call it. So if you're looking for information on unemployment, you need to look up gig workers in our industry, okay? Something else I didn't think about is if you really have no income coming in right now, you may additionally be able to apply for food stamps, but I haven't looked into that thoroughly. I know somebody in my group today said they used to have them and they were able to reapply. So that could be something else that could help you out, okay? They're also sending checks to all Americans. So what that means, because I've looked heavily into that, is if you had your account set up for auto deductions or auto deposits from your last tax year and tax filing, then you can expect that they will automatically put the money in your account. If you had everything mailed and you were not set up that way, then they're going to mail you a check, okay? So even people who are earning more than the cutoff amount, they're going to give you some money still. So I think in 2018 we were above. So they said if you haven't filed 2019, this is important, they may go off of 2018, okay? And let's see. So don't forget too, with your car payments and your lease payments on cars, you can have those deferred. They're not asking any questions. So even if you're partially affected or not as nearly as affected as others, maybe your spouse is affected and you're not, then you can still, with no questions asked, you can ask for a deferment. So they're getting so many calls that they're no questions asked, they're just doing it right now. So some of these things come with some interest, you know, for the months that you're not paying, but they're trying not to make things worse for everybody from what I've gotten from when I've made my calls, okay? So there's also, everyone's looking at loans, okay? And there's a lot of different kinds of loans and help, and it can be confusing. So I happened to be getting a loan for my business before all this started, and I have a lot of information on that. So there's an SBA disaster loan, and that cannot be stacked on top of the new loans that they just announced, which my lender doesn't even have the information yet. I had to send it to them. So I'll pull that up. But there's an act that's Keeping Workers Paid and Employed Act, and that affects SBA 7A loans. So you can get that loan, and you can also get payments deferred for a year, it says, and some of the loan amount may be forgiven. So some of the loan that you use to pay employees, also mortgage payments, there's some listed things. I did do a post about this in my group, but remember that the lending institutions don't even have this information yet because it was just passed, okay? So let's see. So the Keeping Workers Paid and Employed Act, it's mainly going to apply to companies with 500 employees or less, and there's limits for large companies. But if you're a spa with employees, this is a good loan. It might be better than the disaster loan. So I had started an application for a disaster loan, and then I decided to wait because I wanted to see what else they were going to offer. There's a lot that's going to help us, that's going to come out of all this, which is great. So just like you guys, 48 hours ago, I was really wondering, what am I going to do? And I've had a lot of success in these 17 years in the industry. I was really worried about all of the professionals. I was worried about my clients. And what are we all going to do that when we can't go to work, and we can't earn money, and some of our clients are in the same boat with us. So luckily there's so much you can do. It's really time to take a deep breath and not be in panic mode anymore. It's really hard to not be in panic mode when you don't know what the solutions are. So I keep coming online to talk to you guys. I'm trying to get information to people who don't have the information yet. If you do, that's fantastic. But we even went to pick up Chromebooks from our school today, and the principal was saying that his father owns a car dealership and he's talking about going bankrupt. And I said, take this information and give it to your dad. There's going to be a way for him to get out of this, okay? So the loans. So there's the Keeping Workers Paid and Employed Act. So that's SBA 7A. One thing I don't know for sure is, are they going to let you stack SBA loans on top of other SBA loans? So do you have an SBA loan that you took out already on your business? If you do, you may not be able to stack, but they may allow you to because this is an emergency. I know the SBA disaster loan said if you get that loan, you cannot get another SBA loan, okay? So it's really important that you choose wisely with these loans. There's also waiting periods with loans. So SBA loans will not allow you to get a loan if you've gotten a quick bridge loan. They won't allow you to get a loan for 2 to 3 months, I believe, is the waiting period. They might waive these kinds of things because of the emergency going on. So far, the only loan I've seen it written in that there's forgiveness during this period where you may not have to pay back some of the wages and expenses that you paid during the emergency is the Keeping Workers Paid and Employed Act. The disaster loan, I didn't see. I'm not the expert on this. I'm only studying and figuring out what I can as a human being, just like you guys. So correct me if anything's wrong and do your own research and call your own financial institutions. But I've been calling and I'm sure about certain things. So mostly this should be good information. So there's also an express SBA loan, and that's different than an SBA 7A loan, okay? And the express loan, I'm not sure from what I read that there was forgiveness with that one. I believe it's the SBA 7A. So if you have employees, you want to go for the one, in my opinion, under the Workers Paid and Employed Act, but they might make even further changes to certain loans and make things better. So you should be excited because they're working and working and working on all this stuff, and they're really trying to help us, guys. So the gig workers unemployment, you know, that was really sparked by Uber and Lyft drivers, believe it or not. And that includes us, you know, anybody who's a solo worker who isn't paying into unemployment, you can get relief with that. And let's see, let me go through my notes here and make sure I haven't forgotten anything. So quick bridge loans, you guys, I think this is kind of the worst type of loan you can do unless you can pay it back quickly. So a quick bridge loan is unsecured. It would be debt on your business side, not your personal credit, if you can get it through your business. And quick bridge loans, they'll fund you within a week. So you have to look very closely at the interest rates and be very careful. Go through the longer process. Oh, speaking of that, I'm going to go over all the documents you need to prepare if you're interested in an SBA loan, okay? So what they asked me for was, let's see, let me double check that. I did not put good notes for myself. So profit and loss, you're going to need 2019 profit and loss balance sheets. Now that the tax date has been extended, that's good news for those who weren't ready to produce a tax return for 2019. They will require an SBA form. They're going to require, there's one document, I keep forgetting the name of it, which is silly, but let me see if I can find it here on my desktop. I have some of it. So the other thing they asked me for as I got further in the process with SBA is they asked me for balance sheets from 2017, 2018. They're going to ask for your tax returns. I had to give them my tax returns from 2016, 17, 18, and 19. Okay, so you have to be ready with all of these documents. They're also going to ask for a debt schedule. That's what I forgot. You need to get a debt schedule. I'll do my best to try to put these documents on Esthetician Talk. That way, if you don't know what they're going to ask for, you can be ready to just shoot this information to them for the SBA loans. Let me think of what else. They're going to ask for a mortgage, most recent mortgage statement if you own a home. So you're going to need to, usually with these SBA 7As, they'll want to put whatever equity you have in your home as whatchamacallit. They're going to need to use that as collateral. Unfortunately, I talked to them about that and there's no changing that. But maybe there is in this situation. Let's see. You know, they're going to be understanding too right now with this emergency that business is not operating as usual, okay? Let's see what else. Other fun things that we have for you. So I'll do my best to get you the information of what documents you need to produce. I do not know, because of this emergency, if they're going to allow you to stack SBA loans. So be very careful with the one you choose. I'm going to say that again and again and again. Don't rush out, get certain loans and not know your options, because if you don't know your options and you choose the wrong one, I hate to say, you could get stuck with horrible interest, or you could get stuck not being able to get another SBA loan. As far as I understand it, before all this started, you can only have one SBA loan out at a time, even if it's a disaster loan, which is kind of crappy because the disaster loan only covers expenses during the immediate disaster. So that'll work for you if that's all you need. But if you need extra working capital or something like that, you're going to need a different kind of SBA loan. I'm still waiting to see if I can get what I need through the new loan, the Keeping Workers Paid and Employed Act loan. So they're also removing some of the typical requirements, which is very important. Okay, let's get to some other fun things. So let's see. So drop shipping, see what companies are doing that like us right now. There's all kinds of companies, even companies that you normally order things for your home with online. So just in skincare, you're going to see a lot of companies doing drop shipping. Luckily, we are already set up for drop shipping. We have been. I don't know if we've talked about that and how that works, but in our system, the way that works is you log into your professional account and you put your clients' addresses in as a ship to address. So it doesn't create a separate account in our system, which is really important. It all goes under your account. So we don't have their email or anything like that. And then you can ship product directly to your clients. And that'll be important because you're not going to have a lot of income in the immediate months. So you're not going to be able to stock up on product like you normally do, and you don't want to be shipping things twice right now. Not only for the exposure, but the costs. You don't want to pay shipping to yourself and then pay shipping to a client. If you can get it shipped directly to them, that's the best thing you can do right now. So look for drop shipping. So we created a free ship code. It has to be $50 or more, or you can use 10% off, but you can't stack those two things. And let's see. So one other thing going on out there, and we'll get back to some other things you can do with your clients too shortly. One thing I'm seeing around here, because we're on a pretty central road here where I live, and we're seeing a lot of people out. And I told my husband, knowing sanitation practices, that that's the worst thing people can be doing right now is, you know, the store is going to be highly contaminated. Big surprise, they came out with articles today that my husband and I were reading that people who are working at Costco are coming down with it, which is where everybody was rushing and wiping everything out. I stayed far away from Costco during all this. I haven't gone to Costco once since this all started because what I saw as an esthetician was too many people were going there and I didn't want to be exposed. They have a large limit on how many people can be in there at one time, and it's too big and too wholesale for them to clean. So that was the other thing they were talking about. They were not able to clean effectively in Costco's because it's this huge warehouse, you know? So stop going out so much. Stop flooding the beaches. Don't go to stores that are being patronized by a lot of people. And let's see what else we've got going here. So be careful, guys. I know you're supposed to be out there exercising, but stock up at the store with what money you can and stop going to the store. You can also, when you receive your mail, you can set your mail aside for a certain amount of days so that if the virus was on it, it'll be dead by the time you open the mail, that kind of thing. You can also sanitize the things that you're bringing home. So this is really important so that you guys stay healthy and you don't become one of those asymptomatic people that's out spreading it. So one thing I've come to understand about this is that it's very contagious compared to the flu and colds. And, you know, I've backed off of not taking it as seriously to taking it more seriously as I've learned more about it. Another thing is personal protection equipment, PPE. Nurses in hospitals are having a lot of trouble with this right now. I know a nurse who is the head of she's either a manager or the head of a nursing department for Kaiser. And let's see. So you want to make sure, even if you need to keep some supplies so you can go back to work, or you need to keep supplies because you're immune compromised, or someone in your family is, you donate what you can. And they need masks most, and unfortunately a lot of people don't have masks. I know I have gloves I can donate and sanitation solution, but that's all I can donate at the time. I do have masks, but they're previously used. We wash them and put filters in them from the fires, which is the one that you've seen me wearing. So let's see. Also, the president, is trying to get us back to work around Easter. I think this is all variable because they're waiting to hear back from the experts basically on when it's safe to do this for everyone. So it's good news, bad news. But the deferments are all the way until June. So it wasn't very hard for me today to call my mortgage company and call my car companies. I got through within 10 minutes. Now, if anybody can comment below and let me know what their credit card companies have said so far, that would be great. I was not able to get through the credit card company, and you are probably not going to be able to get through to anyone in unemployment. I'm trying to think of what else. Xfinity, I called that's our internet and TV service. I did not ask them about, no, wait, I think I did ask them about deferments, and I don't think that they were providing any deferments right now for cable and internet. Some of the streaming services might be. So that was one thing I forgot. And back to more of the fun stuff for the professionals. So what can you do right now with your clients? So I wanted to talk about this because some of the mentors and companies, they're encouraging people to do things like sell a lot of gift certificates. In my opinion, I like to earn money as it's coming in. I don't like to have thousands of dollars in outstanding gift certificates. I don't personally think that's a good, sustainable way to bring income in right now. Making a little facial kit for clients and a video and giving them something they can do at home is a great idea. Another thing that's a good idea to ask clients to do right now is leave you a review somewhere. So Yelp and Google are the most important places to get reviews, to be seen when people search for your type of business. So it's a good idea to send out an email to clients and let them know to leave you a review on Yelp or Google right now. That's very, very helpful. If you're on YouTube watching and you see service providers in any capacity, if you can go online and leave them reviews, then by the time they open business again, it's really going to help their visibility. Be sure that you talk about what type of service that you're getting and be more specific, so when people search for waxing or sugaring or whatever the industry is, even your favorite food places can use help in this department. The more specific you are, the more specific the search can be. So if somebody's looking for waxing or sugaring, if that word is in the review, then that'll help it show up better at the end of all this. So they can also like, comment, and share what you're doing on social media right now. That is not as helpful though as the reviews. They can refer a friend for a future appointment. So that's also a great thing that clients can do right now. And they can make future appointments. But at this point, like in California, we don't know exactly when we're going to be able to reopen. So initially I had been booking people around mid-April, and I'm thinking that they're not going to allow us to, you know, reopen that early, and I don't want to spread COVID or have any issues trying to reopen at that time. I've said to you guys multiple times, I'm not one of those people who gets the flu or sick very often, but I don't have a great immune system, but I wouldn't classify myself as 100% compromised. So let's see. I think that that's a lot of what I was going to talk to you guys about. So someone on YouTube was saying, with food stamps, the only problem is I think you have to go into stores to actually be able to use them, that you can't, I don't think you can shop online. I don't know. That was just a comment that I got. And if anyone has any questions, if you write them now, I will take a few minutes and see. I'm really afraid to touch this iPad because I'm having, let's see. I'm just trying to see if there's any questions that I missed. Let's see. Can you resist what the gig job description? Oop. Oh no. Oh, here we go. Okay, now I can see everything on YouTube too. The gig job description for unemployment, Washington State so far online is only for employee generated unemployment. So you got to give this stuff a little bit of time, everybody. So they're just putting some of this in place. So that means that it's not going to be active. I was pretty surprised with the new loan stuff that my loan officer had no idea. You know, I called her and she was like, our whole company has no idea about anything yet. And I had to send them the copies of this new act for them to go over with their company. What do you know? So some of the unemployment stuff is brand new. The loan things are brand new. So although you need to take action early, you may not at this time be able to apply for unemployment yet because it's not completely active. Okay? And let's see. So it was Jennifer who said the problem with food stamps is you can't order online. I think you have to go to the store. So that is what I said, which I thought was what I read. Let's see. So Omar said, in my opinion, stay at home and don't go out except for extreme necessities. That's true. Okay. Any other questions from anybody still online? I know it was a lot of information to digest. I am studying and sharing and studying and sharing. Yesterday was the first time I felt like I could actually celebrate and that I didn't fear that, you know, some of us were going down. You know, we were talking about a lot of businesses before everything passed. We were talking about lots of businesses being closed, laying people off. And by the way, if you miss this, this will be posted in Esthetician Talk. I see someone saying I'm late to the party with the crying face. And you can watch this all again. You can keep commenting and asking questions, and I'll be following these videos and answering questions even after today. I'm very active right now on social media because there's not a lot we can do. So be proactive, you guys. All I can say is if you don't call your mortgage company, you don't call your car payment company, you don't call, they're not going to give you relief. This stuff won't happen automatically. So there is a lot of work to do in that department. I know that paperwork and stuff like that gives me a lot of anxiety. It's not that I'm not good at it. I hate paperwork, and filing for taxes and certain things are anxiety causing. So something like going to all of these places and filling all this stuff out can feel daunting, but it's super important, okay? So you do need to take action, but remember, the lenders right now don't have the information yet about the new SBA 7A loan. Okay, so there's things like that going on. Not all states are going to have something active for unemployment yet. So give it another week, give it another 2 weeks, even though, you know, we feel like we're all scraping by if we're in a business where we're not working right now. The good news is the economy is picking back up, and with the economy picking back up, you are going to see businesses recover a lot faster. So the money that people are getting that are unemployed, they're going to go out and spend more money. They're going to have time to find another job or to restart their business or get situated again in the business they were working in. One thing that was awesome that I think I said earlier was these loan deferments. There's no application process. So I literally went on the website of my mortgage payment. I called the car payment people and those people, and what I did was said, I'm affected, and they'll defer. There's no questions asked. So even if you're not as affected as other people, they're not going to ask. They're just going to give you a deferment right now. So let's say you're helping your mom out who lost her job, but you're fully employed. You can still call and get deferments right now. So I'm not saying we take advantage, but do what you need to do to survive, because not only are you affected, but your loved ones. And I would take all of the advantages that you can right now, okay? So I don't see many other questions. Janessa, what can you shaded? I don't know what that means. And YouTube, let's see. Any tips for content on social media? People want to see your face, you know, so whatever your business is, if you're connected to your customers and your friends and your family on social media, go on live, take pictures and send your picture of what you're doing in your emails. And people want to connect with you personally, especially in our beauty business where that's what they're doing. They're missing the connection with you as much as you're missing it with them in a lot of cases. Okay, let's see. And let's see. Hi, Jessa. Let's see. You talk about appointments. Oh, hi, Juan. There's no impact on your credit. So if you defer payments, Juan is asking, there is no impact on your credit right now. None. That's very, very important. So if you are deferring payments, they're not going to report anything for at least 60 days. Also, the financial institution said that it will extend based on what's happening. So if let's see, if you can't make your payments and you do need to call in, but I believe some of it's in place no matter what. Let's see. So, and then Juan was asking about making more appointments. Most likely in California, it is going to be May. I'm really sad about all this. I want to see our clients. Everybody's going to be really hairy. So I miss everyone. Let me see if there's Any other questions before I go? I see some of the estheticians have logged off. So I know this was a long chat, but I hope this has helped you guys. I've had multiple comments throughout all this, going live and posting posts in my esthetician group, that it was the first time people were seeing this information. I think even in some counties, people didn't even notice when some of the orders had changed. Like California counties put orders in place, and then the governor put other orders in place. And I think some people are disconnected, and so they're not seeing a lot of what's going on. So I met someone when I was out this week in California who thought that the county orders were still in place and that they didn't know that the governor had put other orders in place. So this is a big deal. I mean, you do have to be studying and reading and staying up on it, and that's too stressful for some people, and I understand that right now. All right. Share about employees having their hours cut. Oh, thank you, Janessa. So any employees having their hours cut can apply for partial unemployment. Also, if the business gets the loan that's for keeping, the name of this act, it goes out of my head every time I try to say it, okay? Unless I'm reading it. So Keeping Workers Paid and Employed Act, your business owner has to keep you paid. Otherwise, they can't get that type of loan, and those payments to the employees will be forgiven under this act. So I'm so happy about this because my dad owns multiple restaurants, and it was a really scary conversation 48 hours ago. So if your spa owner does not know about this yet, or your business owner doesn't know about this yet, you might need to be the one to help share the information. It's on them to do whatever they're going to do next, but you might need to be the one to proactively give the business you work for certain information. You have to think everybody's stress level is different right now, okay? Some people I know, they're so stressed that they are not able to look at the news regularly. And if you go 48 hours right now, you're going to miss really important stuff. So employees who've had their hours cut, there's relief in place for those employers, but it's going to be a little tricky from the start line to the finish line. You know what I mean by that? Like right now, the loans are not able to be funded instantly, okay? So let's see. And Juan says, whoop, oh, sorry, on YouTube, it's hard to get the comments to pop up. I think this has been helpful. I heard at least for us who are working from home, this might run for 6 weeks. Yes, in California, the governor was saying 8 weeks, you know, from when it started. The reason is the virus can shed for 37 days and people can be asymptomatic. So if I went to the spa and treated people, and I'm one of those people that I do get sick, but almost never. So let's say I have it and I'm asymptomatic, I could be giving it to customers unknowingly, or a customer who's well could come in, have a service, and then we could be spreading around the virus, even if it doesn't affect me or my family that much. So 37-day shedding time, and highly, highly contagious, way more contagious than the flu. You know, it's serious. And some of the countries who aren't taking it seriously, they're having major issues right now. Let's see. So, any other questions? I know some of you are just joining, or you popped back in. I've been online for about 45 minutes. I know it's a long video, but I go through a lot of really important stuff throughout this entire video. So let me know if you have any other questions. And I laid out what we're doing. I sent an email out to our estheticians so that you can take advantage of the things that we're doing. And pretty soon I got to hop off here and make dinner for my kids. I have 3 kids, if you guys didn't know, and we are responsible for homeschooling them. My heart goes out to families with children right now where you're trying to stay afloat, you're trying to homeschool your kids. My heart also goes out to families who have brand new babies. I was thinking when my children were babies, how scary this would be, where, you know, babies are really susceptible, and, you know, you want stability in your life when you have a brand new being at home. And so I've really been praying for everyone in the way that I do, and I'm seeing a lot of positive things happening. I'm much more hopeful about our economy. So thank God for that, because our economy was terrifying me, to be honest with you guys. I was really, really wondering what was going to happen after all of this. But I have a lot of confidence now. And coming from me, I do stay on top of this stuff. I'm not a stock market person, but I know enough, you know, through being in business for a long time. I've been through a recession and been in business, and I actually think that with everything they're doing, that I don't think this will be as bad as the recession. And that was not the tune that I had when this started. I was afraid this was going to be a depression. So we all need to celebrate. Take a deep breath, get all your bills put on hold so something doesn't go through and you have a heart attack looking at your bank account. Not to make fun of heart attacks, they're very serious, but you know, you have a panicked moment looking. I had one bill like that go through, and to be honest with you guys, with how small the amount of money is coming in right now, I did not put my lease payment for one of the business cars on hold, and that payment went through. And oh, healthcare, I forgot. Healthcare payments are not on hold so far. So you have to make sure you have enough money to pay for your health care. I don't know if they're going to change this, and correct me if I'm wrong and I missed something, but I called I have like a broker, and they're getting calls every day all about this, and healthcare costs are not on hold, and you can't change plans, you know, at certain times, and so that's going to be challenging. That was the big bill that went through for my family alone. It costs about $2,000 a month just for our health care. So that bill went through. I thought I had a little cushion, and I looked in my account and I almost, oh no, which I haven't had these worries in years, but luckily they're putting all this stuff in place, and it's going to get better for everyone. Don't mind me when I smile and laugh and do certain things. I think my dad and my aunt said we have dry eye issues, so my eyes will water periodically if I'm laughing or doing certain things, and I'm not crying, guys. I'm okay. So, all right. I don't see any new questions. Hi, Jody. Hi, Sergina. Hi, Caroline. And let me see. Okay. I love you guys, and stay in touch with me. Please keep commenting. If you haven't already, I have a YouTube channel, and I'm going to publish free education. I'm going to keep talking to you about all this stuff I'm learning, because I've had so many people tell me that they don't know about some of the stuff that I'm sharing because there's too much being released. They don't know what bills they can put on hold. They don't know what loans to get. You know, we're swimming in a sea of information right now. So I'm going to continue to help as much as I can, just out of the love of other human beings. You know, I want us all to be able to thrive and survive and be okay. You know, all of you. All right. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Make sure you like and subscribe to me on YouTube. Look for Jessa Esthetician. And that's where all of my free education goes. And some of my videos from Esthetician Talk stay on there, and they're much easier to access as time's gone by. Okay. Stephanie, thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie says it's been very difficult for her and her family. I want you to know, even though I own a skincare line and I own a spa, I'm in exactly the same boat, and I really feel for everyone. And all of us gig workers, as they're calling us, it's been such a horrible, you know, I saw estheticians commenting that they've been crying every night. They can't sleep. It's time to take a deep breath. They're putting a lot in place, and you don't need to be in that space anymore. I promise you, I've been studying, and I'm not in that space. I was celebrating last night, even though the money's not in our pockets yet. Because you can put almost everything on hold except certain things like healthcare, you know, hopefully you have a little bit of money or a family that can help you get through the next couple weeks. And then, you know, our systems are going to be flooded. So just be ready to hurry up and wait a little bit. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Let's see, I'm going to say goodbye on Facebook. And it's been a while since I've gone live here on YouTube. I say goodbye to everyone on YouTube. Thank you.